So here we are again. I'm trying to at least see if I can try to salvage this thing, because for some reason it's spraying oil out the back of the valve cover. Now that tells me that somehow it's getting pressure in the valve itself. So I've either got some bad valve seats, because I got oil in the intake. Of course, I always had that, and I just naturally assumed that it was from the 4 quarts of oil too much and this going straight in, and it was spraying oil up and going in. But now it looks like, since it can't spray out over here, it's spraying out over there. Or maybe whatever issue it had, it still has it. And I need to try to figure out what that is and how it would be getting air pressure into the valve cover itself. Because obviously I got some kind of a big problem here, and I might be able to salvage this engine. So to start, there are 8 bolts holding the intake manifold off. I'm going to take that off so that I can look under there, see if there's any cracks or if there's any leaks, see if I can figure out where exactly that oil is coming from. There are 8 bolts holding that on, I believe. There's a nut there, bolt. You got to take this throttle plate off so that you can get to that one that's down in that channel. Bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, then a nut and another little bolt right there. Now I've already loosened up all my bolts, but as I did that, I came over here, I undid the cold start injector, the brake booster, and then I saw this hose, which is coming up from the valve cover, and I'm thinking that maybe the air pressure somehow may be blowing into this one, and then the air pressure found its way out over there, and somehow it's been spraying the oil out on that valve cover. One way that I could check that is to just hook up the mass airflow sensor without the turbo blowing air pressure into it and see if it still sprays oil. If it still sprays oil, then I've got a serious problem that I still need to diagnose. If it doesn't spray oil, then it is the air pressure, and then I can just cap that off and that should be good. So I was able to get this fitting out of there. I don't have another set screw to put in there. Even if I did, I think these threads are just a little bit different than those ones. Maybe a different size or something. But that hose broke off in half, so I just plugged it up with a screw. I think this is aluminum. And if it is, I won't be able to weld it, but I'm still going to try. Alright. So it is steel. I'm going to be able to weld that. Awesome. While I'm at it, I'm also going to cut my EGR system right here, because I have welded that on that truck. So I'm going to do the same thing, cut that off so that I don't have any exhaust pressure coming up into here, and it's all going to be going over to the turbo. And when I pulled this sucker out, the EGR, we had a whole bunch of oil dripping off of the end of it. So I got the intake propped up. The only thing I'm seeing is just them 6 intake ports that go into the cylinders. The only thing that I'm seeing that even gets close to the oil would be, unless I've got a bad valve seat and it's letting oil pressure come. No, that still wouldn't make any sense. Somehow oil is getting into the intake. Now, if it's not coming from the breather tubes on either one of the valve covers, if it's not coming from there, I have no idea how the hell it's getting in there. But anyway, I'm going to take this valve cover off and see if I can see where that leak was coming from. And for the record, the valve cover bolts are 10 millimeter. It doesn't look like I've got any bad seals or anything. I guess just somehow it was building up pressure on that side, and that pressure was coming over here and found its way out back here on the back side of this rubber gasket back here. But in any event, the intake gasket, as always, got broken during the removal of the intake. So it's going to take a few days for that to arrive. And when it does, I'll put this all back together and see if my theory about plugging all this stuff up is correct. Alright, it's all back together. Toyota truck engines are the strongest on the planet, and we're about to find out if an oil leak can really screw one of them up. As you can see, turbo intake hose is disconnected. Christ. The hell was that? What? Oh, it's my breather. My little vacuum. Son of a bitch. Somehow it's building up pressure. It is... Oh, fuck. Somehow it is building up pressure inside the line. And if you ask me, that looks pretty... No, that looks like maybe it's mixing with the coolant or something. So, well, this is the last you're going to be seeing of this engine. It's done. I'm not screwing with any of that. So, it was fun while it lasted. I hope it was educational for you. But you know what? Screw that. I'm going to plug that damn thing off. I'm going to put a hose clamp on it, make sure it's tightened down. The other one has just got that little screw in it, and that didn't go anywhere. So if I tighten that sucker down enough, I mean, hell, I wasn't even running turbo pressure. So yeah, that has to be a bad valve seat, and since it's obviously got water in the oil, probably a crack in the block somewhere, but it's still running, and I'm gonna run it until it blows and can't run anymore. So fuck this. I'm gonna hook this back up. I'm gonna hook everything back up. I'm gonna bolt that down. I'm gonna go run the nuts off this sucker until it blows. I'm gonna crank that sucker up as much as it'll hold, and it's gonna be something either fantastic or devastating. So here's where we're at. Swung by the auto parts store, picked up a couple PCV valves and this little brass barb connector. What I'm going to do, put the PCV valves at the end of each one of the valve covers. Going to run this hose for those, and then they have a different sized outlet on them, so I have to use the smaller diameter hose. I'm going to run those into a T-junction, which is here, and I'm going to run all of those from the T-junction. I'm going to run those into here, into the brass connector, just like I did over here for the 4-inch hose, and that's going to pump all that extra air pressure without letting the oil come through. The PCV valves, if you recall from my 99 Jeep Grand Cherokee Why Does an Engine Burn Oil video, PCV valve lets the air come out while keeping the oil in. So I'm going to run all of these hoses going up so that that air that's somehow circulating into the oil come back into the intake, and hopefully it will just be a repeating process until eventually got those lines ran now. I've only got one of the lines. This is my other breather on the passenger side of the engine. I haven't hooked that one up yet because I need an adapter for it. But I do have this one that blew out and tried to take my face out with it. That one's going up. I do have a PCV valve right there going straight into that intake. So well, we'll see what happens. And I will test it from inside the vehicle this time. Trying to, hopefully it's not squirting that oil back into the intake, but got some dripping down there. Oh yeah, I forgot to tighten that. That's my coolant line. We got a little bit of oil dripping back there. We might still be having an air pressure problem back here. Anyway, as I said, I'm gonna run it till it blows. Who gives a damn? So now it doesn't want to start. The weird thing is, all I did was back it over here and pour oil in it. That was it. I get up this morning, try to start it, and it just goes click, 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 and starts metal on metal, I don't know, trying to throw a rod down there in the oil pan or something, who the hell knows. So this engine is completely done. Fun while it lasted. In theory, that blow-off problem, I'm guessing it has to be caused by a bad valve seat. Before you begin a turbo project like this, I guess maybe check the compression, which is something I did not do. I just assumed that my good engine was in fact good. And check your compression and make sure there's no leak down or anything like that. Make sure that all of your air pressure that's building up is staying in the cylinder and not blowing back into your damn valve cover. Which, weirdly enough, that happened out of nowhere. So that might have actually been caused because of the turbo. The air pressure might have just made a bad situation worse. Just forced one of those valve seats to actually press out of there, or it was torn just enough to be forced out or something. Who the hell knows? But yeah, it's running rough now. It's blowing oil out of the damn valve cover, and now it's not even running at all. But in any event, I hope if you guys try this, you take all of my advice to heart, because I'm not going to lie to you. I did this out of my own pocket, $1,200 straight down the shitter. So I hope you guys at least appreciate the effort that I put forth to show you how to do it and steps to take to what I believe can help you succeed. But to those of you that have seen my Toyota V8 swap series, this is the truck that I was doing it with. But don't fret, even though I did get rid of that 454 big block Chevy, I am going to be going with another engine. So you will still continue to see this truck in upcoming videos. Here's a little update for you guys. Apparently, this solenoid, I had it hooked up wrong. I hooked it up exactly the way the instructions said, which was to go to from port 2 to port 1. Now, apparently what you want to do is go from port 2 to port 3 according to YouTube, and I didn't know that at the time. But apparently, when I thought I was running 4 pounds of boost, 6 pounds of boost, apparently there was no way for the blow-off valve to bleed any of that pressure off, which means I was actually running that engine at full boost. Didn't know that. But what does that mean for this project? It means that the 3VZE is out, and something else is going in.